Leandria Johnson just lit a fire the church wasn't ready for. In a bold and unexpected move, she publicly called out Bishop T.D. Jakes. And now, the gospel world is in chaos. What started as a few words quickly turned into a storm of accusations, of silence, of hidden truths, and of a powerful system that may have been protecting the wrong people. Fans are stunned, leaders are scrambling, and the internet is erupting with questions that demand answers. Is there a darker truth hiding behind the pulpit? What has been swept under the rug in the name of ministry and reputation? Leandria didn't hold back, and now no one can. In this video, we break down exactly what she said, why it matters, and how her bravery might finally be forcing the church to confront what it's kept quiet for too long. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear could change everything. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden truths, raw emotions, and real drama behind the pulpit. Today's video dives into a revelation that has rocked gospel music fans and church communities alike. Leandria Johnson, the Grammy-winning vocal powerhouse, known for her unfiltered honesty and anointing, has finally broken her silence. But this isn't just another viral moment. She's calling out one of the most influential spiritual figures of our time, Bishop T.D. Jakes, and what she says has triggered a storm of controversy. Her words are fierce, her pain is real, and her message has sparked a tidal wave of debate around accountability, church trauma, and the silence of celebrity pastors. To truly grasp the weight of Leandria's message, we have to rewind the clock back to when a young, raw-voiced singer took the gospel world by storm after winning Sunday Best in 2010. She was hailed as a chosen vessel, but her journey quickly turned from triumph to turbulence. Behind the praise and platforms were moments of mentorship turned cold, support that vanished when she needed it most, and a spiritual community that applauded her voice but ignored her cries. Now, years later, she's naming names and exposing wounds that never healed, and the church is being forced to listen. In this video, we unpack her statement, the history with Bishop Jakes, the silence that followed, and whether this marks the start of a much-needed reckoning in modern gospel ministry. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden truths, raw emotions, and real drama behind the pulpit. Today's video dives into a revelation that has rocked gospel music fans and church communities alike. Leandria Johnson, the Grammy-winning vocal powerhouse, known for her unfiltered honesty and anointing, has finally broken her silence. But this isn't just another viral moment. She's calling out one of the most influential spiritual figures of our time, Bishop T.D. Jakes, and what she says has triggered a storm of controversy. Her words are fierce, her pain is real, and her message has sparked a tidal wave of debate around accountability, church trauma, and the silence of celebrity pastors. To truly grasp the weight of Leandria's message, we have to rewind the clock back to when a young, raw-voiced singer took the gospel world by storm after winning Sunday Best in 2010. She was hailed as a chosen vessel, but her journey quickly turned from triumph to turbulence. Behind the praise and platforms were moments of mentorship turned cold, support that vanished when she needed it most, and a spiritual community that applauded her voice but ignored her cries. Now, years later, she's naming names and exposing wounds that never healed, and the church is being forced to listen. In this video, we unpack her statement, the history with Bishop Jakes, the silence that followed, and whether this marks the start of a much-needed reckoning in modern gospel ministry. Although she had a voice that could move mountains, she was often in the news due to her personal issues, alcoholism, melancholy, and encounters with the religious elite. Bishop T. Jakes comes next. With millions of followers worldwide, Jake was one of the most powerful pastors in the world and had the ability to build or break careers in the Christian and gospel sectors. He led the Potter's House in Dallas. Many people formerly thought he was watching over Leandria, both professionally and spiritually. There were genuine rumors that Bishop Jake had attempted to teach her behind the scenes, or at least provide her with remote guidance during some of her worst times, even if this was never officially proven. However, something evolved over time. In interviews and even her Instagram lives, Leandria began to subtly indicate that several well-known religious leaders had let her down, offering to help then abandoning her when the criticism arose. Fans conjectured that she was referring to Jake. After all, she appeared alone when she publicly criticized the church, smoked a cigarette during services, or exposed the hypocrisy of gospel leaders. No influential person defended her, and that quiet was painful. Although Leandria has always loved the church, she has also been outspoken about how politicized and severely dysfunctional it can be. Finally, after years of avoiding mentioning names, she says, Bishop T.D. Jakes. Yes, a portion of the issue was caused by the same person who advocates for restoration and grace. It's not just damaged feelings here, it's about the emotional toll of being spiritually abandoned by someone who was once a father figure to a whole generation. Power dynamics and selective grace. Leandria Johnson performed the unimaginable in an Instagram Live that has received thousands of views and innumerable reposts on Christian forums and gospel blogs. At last, she gave names. Bishop T.D. Jakes was at the top of her list. With tears in her eyes and fire in her voice, Leandria sat in front of her phone and uttered something that instantaneously ignited the internet without any kind of script or censor. Do you all want to defend T.D. Jake as if he were God? No, I'll say it. He could have reached out at any time. He understood my situation. He noticed my difficulties, and he put distance between us as if I were a sickness, rather than covering me. That's what the church does best, isn't it? I adore you when you perform, then let you go once you're bleeding. T.D. Jake and his camp's silence and their statements struck a deep chord. More importantly, this was not only a casual reference. Leandria continued by describing instances in which she claims Bishop Jake and other influential pastors took advantage of her talent, asking her to sing at large gatherings, revivals, and prominent televised events, only to disappear when she most needed them. I've sobbed backstage as you all yelled from the pulpit. After you guys anointed my head with oil, I returned home to empty liquor bottles, she admitted, her voice breaking, and all of you were aware of it. However, you were silent. She also revealed something even more disturbing. During a breakdown, she personally contacted Bishop Jake's ministry, but she never received a response. There is more to this than a celebrity dispute. It exposes emotional desertion in the sake of reputation control in a heartbreaking way. A religious institution that utilizes anointed individuals for their theatrical power and then casts them off camera when their humanity becomes too messy is depicted by Leandria's truth. Many were astonished to learn that she was speaking as a wounded church daughter as well as a wounded artist. During her live stream, the comment area was ablaze. Tell the truth, sis. Church hurts. They don't like your vulnerability, but they adore your voice. Additionally, for every comment that congratulated her, there were others who accused her of being disrespectful, resentful, and attempting to destroy the very institution that had made her. Leandria, however, had no regrets. I'm not going to demolish the church. I'm dismantling the falsehood. There is a distinction. She might have lost additional connections in the gospel industry as a result of her honest, unvarnished, and decades-long truth. However, it was a breakthrough for thousands of people who felt abandoned by church leadership. Let's move into the storm's eye now. Bishop T.D. Jakes is a spiritual giant whose name has come to represent preaching about power, gospel, and prosperity. From the pulpit to Hollywood, Jakes has amassed a billion-dollar empire over the years by advising presidents, training business magnates, and influencing the general public. However, this titan's quiet is suddenly deafening. People anticipated that Bishop Jake would take the stage and respond right away when reports started to circulate regarding his purported involvement in Diddy's notorious parties. However, the audience received ambiguous Instagram posts, cryptic lectures, and ultimately one breathtaking confession in place of clarity. 44,000 AI bots attempted to defeat me. Now say what? Bishop Jake stunned spectators during a recent service that was live-streamed from the Potter's house by saying that he had been targeted online by artificial intelligence bots determined to destroy his reputation rather than by actual humans. He indicated that the attacks were planned rather than natural by pointing to a concerted slander effort. He stated, "They tried to drown my voice in a digital ocean of lies. That is undoubtedly a potent visual, but critics didn't find it convincing." Was Jakes using AI as a scapegoat to divert attention from his alleged involvement in Diddy's inner circle? Many people started to wonder. Or is there something more evil and profound that we are yet unaware of? Even more intriguing is the fact that no well-known preacher has openly backed him. Creflo Dollar, where are you? Bishop Paul Morton, where are you? Where are his proteges and spiritual sons? Was there a purpose to this silence? Some contend that Jake is concealing his true level of knowledge, and that he is avoiding dealing with his own problems by entangling himself in the web of AI conspiracies and digital diversions. One thing is certain, though, regardless of whether he is actually being attacked or is just hiding something, people will keep searching until they find the answers they need. If you thought Bishop Jake's AI revelation was crazy, you won't believe how this spiritual tale winds its way through the Black Church's hallways and directly onto the pulpits of Prophet Brian Carr and Creflo Dollar. First up is Creflo Dollar, a man whose name alone shouts success. He is credited with helping to establish the modern prosperity gospel, a doctrine that links opulent vehicles, enormous houses, and private planes to heavenly favor. However, Creflo has started reversing course lately. He boldly criticized decades of his own teachings on tithing in a lecture that stunned his global congregation. Yet many people didn't believe the change in heart. It was viewed as strategic distancing by some. Why? Because rumors had begun to circulate that Creflo had also attended one of Diddy's enigmatic secret parties. You know, the ones that everyone in Hollywood is aware of, but nobody wants to verify. He and other prominent religious leaders were reportedly invited to what was presented as a charity banquet, but there may have been more sinister overtones, according to some reports. Dollar did not respond when questioned about these accused parties. "I just follow the Spirit's guidance, and occasionally that guidance takes you through hostile territory. That's suspect at worst and ambiguous at best." Brian Carr, the ever-dramatic prophet, then comes in. Brian K. is the no-holds-barred, unrepentant, and frequently contentious voice that says the silent portion aloud. If Creflo Dollar is the smooth-talking prosperity preacher, only a few weeks ago, Carr criticized what he dubbed pastors in bed with celebrities on both sides in a heated live webcast. Many interpreted this as a direct attack on Creflo Dollar and TD Jake. He even forewarned that God's house will soon undergo a cleansing. The pulpit will be the first place of judgment. These preachers have lost sight of their audience. Brian Carr has always had to balance tabloid outrage with prophetic revelation. However, he didn't hold back this time. He cited the covert payment of millions of dollars in hush money and prostitution rings masquerading as fellowship. Then came the shivering line that made everyone take notice. "Do you believe Diddy is involved?" "No, Diddy is merely a ruse. A decoy, huh?" As the audience concentrates on eye-catching news, Carr seems to be implying that the whole media craze around Diddy's events may be a deliberate deception that someone is in charge. The result of widespread mistrust of the Black Church, particularly among millennials and Gen Z. The relationship between organized religion and these generations is already tense. However, that confidence is now eroding as their childhood spiritual heroes have either remained silent, been implicated, or publicly betrayed one another. Videos of formerly committed members destroying their Potter's House membership cards, setting sermons on fire, and using hashtags like "We Not My Pastor" and "Jar Church Scam 2025" abound on social media. It's not only a reputational disaster anymore, it's a religious crisis. The ramifications of this dispute have started to spread well beyond Prophet Brian Carr himself as the story progresses. The Catholic community is once again in the throes of separation after being shattered by past scandals involving other prominent leaders. It's not just the claimed deeds that are so compelling in this case. It's how the same people who formerly held these leaders in high regard are now reacting to them. Once supporting Carr's teachings and agreeing with his assertions, leaders in his own ministerial network are now either remaining silent or making carefully phrased statements. While some are completely separating themselves, others are frantically trying to preserve their connections. Prophetic voices and church elders are being pushed to the side. Do they publicly condemn Carr's actions or do they support him? Not to mention the background. The More Grace movement of Prophet Carr had positioned itself as the latest wave of unadulterated, fire-filled spiritual awakening. He was engaging, eloquent, and provocative, and a sizable devoted following was attracted by that charm. However, fissures are now appearing inside that base itself. Former backers are speaking up. The depth of the rabbit hole is being questioned by churchgoers. Allegations of financial manipulation, which range from extravagant living choices to costly prophetic seed gifts, have once again entered the discourse, adding to the instability. Argument after argument is being sparked by screenshots of purported text messages, audio snippets, and even films that are making the rounds on sites like X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Others refer to it as long overdue responsibility, while others term it a witch hunt. Many members of the congregation feel betrayed in ways that go beyond the alleged affair. It has to do with trust. They are now accusing the spiritual leader they trusted with their money and souls of leading a double life. Furthermore, the betrayal is deeply hurtful. We must follow Prophet Brian Ka's path from the height of his reputation to the current brink of controversy in order to comprehend the significance of this time. His narrative is truly cinematic. Before he reached double digits, Ka started preaching. He was a juvenile prodigy in the prophetic sphere, praised as a spiritual prodigy with astounding precision in calling out names, addresses, and personal information. He was unlike anything the church had ever seen. By the time he was a teenager, Brian Ka was touring the country, giving prophetic revivals, and packing out theaters. His gift was unadulterated, unrefined, and unquestionably potent. In his presence, people sobbed not only out of conviction, but also out of simple amazement at his depth of knowledge. He was seen by many as the Elijah of the new period, a divine vessel sent to awaken the modern church from its slumber. With every viral video and TV campaign, that reputation only got stronger. However, there are two sides to celebrity, particularly spiritual renown. Popularity brought pressure, influence brought scrutiny, and temptation accompanied authority. Wherever Ka lectured over the years, rumors of dubious behavior started to circulate. Ka's supernatural reputation started to take a significant hit after he was accused of copying prophetic words from psychic hotlines and making unsuccessful predictions like predicting President Obama's death, which never materialized. Nevertheless, he always managed to get back up after a stumble. His tenacity just made him more appealing to some. They think he is human but selected. Others had a different perspective. He is cunning and shielded by the same system that he takes advantage of. Even his most devoted supporters, however, see the present crisis as a watershed moment. If the accusations are accurate, Ka's use of his position to suppress, woo, or manipulate women in his congregation would represent a disastrous spiritual breach, in addition to a personal failing. Nevertheless, Ka continues to be rebellious despite everything. He has continued to preach with the same fervor and vigor in recent appearances, citing scripture and using his well-honed charisma to sidestep criticism. He asserts that, like Elijah or Jeremiah in biblical times, he is being targeted because he is a genuine prophet. He has even implied that the purpose of these disputes is to differentiate genuine believers from imposters and purify the prophetic remnant. However, not everyone still believes it. One thing is evident as discussions and reactions rage on social media, and other church officials either remain mute or issue vague cautions. There is a reckoning coming for the age of unaccountable celebrity pastors, and at the center of the storm is Prophet Brian Ka. Only time will tell if he comes out of it redeemed, wrecked, or just rebranded. One thing is for sure though, the story doesn't finish here. It marks the start of a new era in the complex, amazing, and frequently confusing realm of contemporary ministry.